2 wins from 2, and is Ipswich Town's promotion push underway? Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Harvey Bell. We're going to talk about Ipswich Town versus Portsmouth right now. And if you do enjoy today's video, please do subscribe and leave a comment down below. Tell me who your man of the match was, because today was a very pleasing performance in many, many aspects. So if you don't know what the score is, Ipswich Town 2, Portsmouth 1, and probably the scoreline, in fairness, makes the game look a lot closer than it actually was, because in the first half, Ipswich Town were completely dominant and arguably could have gone into half-time further ahead. Philogene got the scoring underway early into the first half. A great ball into him from Jens Kudus, who had just beaten a couple of players. And again, like we saw Philogene do against Sheffield United, he cut inside, hit the ball across the keeper, in off the post, and about as clean of a finish as you're going to see, really. Then we doubled our lead just on the stroke of half-time. That was a George Hurst goal off of the back of a fantastic Leif Davis cross, one that we've not seen turned into a goal in quite a while. That classic Leif Davis run down on left flank and absolutely fizzing a ball along the ground into George Hurst's path, and ultimately he was never going to miss from that sort of range. A very, very simple tap in. But Town were completely dominant in this game. Portsmouth really didn't lay a glove on Ipswich until they did pull one back in stoppage time. And maybe there was then 30 seconds after that where the result was in jeopardy. But really, for the whole 90 minutes, Town never looked like they were going to let up any points in this game, and ultimately were dominant. The game did provide a full debut for Sindre Valley-Ageli and Cedric Kipri as well. We'll start with Ageli, who I thought, without really doing a lot going forward, had a really impressive debut. He picked out a couple of really nice long distance balls, but I thought his work rate off the ball was fantastic. I thought he covered for Darnell Furlong really, really well at right back whenever Furlong pushed forward. His work rate to get back and defend was superb, and ultimately a player like Ageli, who is obviously creative and likes to take his man on, although he maybe didn't have much luck in beating his man today, he made up for it with his work ethic, and that's all you can really ask from a player. Then we get on to Cedric Kipre, who for my money was man of the match today. In for Jacob Greaves, who was suspended after last weekend's curtailed game against Blackburn. And Kipre, for me, dominant in the air, a very big physical presence, and just slotted into that defence seamlessly. He looked very comfortable on the ball, which is more than I think can be said for perhaps Dara O'Shea next to him. And that's not a dig at Dara O'Shea, but more a compliment to Cedric Kipre. And, as far as debuts go, I think that was really, really solid. I'm sure he'll be really, really frustrated to have conceded the goal sort of late on, because that takes away a clean sheet on his debut. But I don't think that will reflect too badly on what was a really, really strong first 90 minutes in blue and white for Cedric Kipre. Again, I want to give a shout out to Alex Palmer, who, the only chance that Portsmouth really had in the first half was when their player went through on goal right towards the end of the first half, and Palmer was so quick off of his line, got the ball into his grasp, and never really looked like he was going to be challenged. So I think the defence, albeit bar for a really sort of poor, lazy set-piece goal in stoppage time, actually had a really good game, and we just really didn't look like we were ever going to be in any trouble. And I think, in fairness to Portsmouth, I don't think they were necessarily a bad side. I think it was the fact that we were just decent, and man for man were a better team and made what were a decent championship outfit look fairly average in all aspects. So look, really good. Hopefully Town can build on this momentum. It's a game that we should have ultimately been winning, and we did. So not the most amazing game of football ever, not the most exciting result ever. That Town did win, and we were comfortable in doing so. So there is absolutely no complaints for me. And as I say, Jaden Philogene, very, very good form at the minute, and he looks very, very confident. So if he can keep shooting like he is at the minute, the goals that he's scoring are all really, really good. George Hurst, although not having his best game, was on the score sheet again. So, those forward players are starting to click, and it's getting a little bit exciting. But hopefully we can carry this on into Tuesday. Obviously away at Bristol City, first midweek league game of the season. Bristol City, though, going to be a tough outfit. We'll talk about that briefly now, because I don't think we'll have a chance to do a full-on preview before that one. But just a little bit about Bristol City. 4th in the league at the minute. They drew 0-0 with Preston today, or at the weekend, depending on whenever you're watching this. So away from home, at Preston. We know ourselves that's not an easy ground to go to. We lost 1-0 there. Osmanic penalty. So, you know, Bristol City going there and getting a point is not a bad result by any means. And under their new manager as well, they seem to be doing very well. When I look at the league table, though, they've won 3, drawn 3 and lost 1, which is pretty much an identical record to Town, other than the fact that we've won 2, drawn 3 and lost 1. But we do have that game in hand. And that, to me, shows that actually Bristol City, despite being 4th in the table, are actually, you know, sort of very close to Ipswich. And despite us having a little bit of a shaky start, it shows with a few wins how quickly you can climb the table and how things can change so quickly in the Championship. So Tuesday is a very, very important fixture, especially ahead of what's coming up next Sunday. So, you know, hopefully we can get a 3rd win on the bounce and, you know, go into the derby with full optimism and full confidence. But we'll have to wait and see, and we will talk about that in length sometime next week. But otherwise, just to say, a very comfortable performance from Ipswich Town today. Very pleased to get another win on the board. Cedric Kipri, really strong debut. Really like Sindre Valiageli. And overall, a really strong team performance and a very good day at Portman Road. So that's all from me. Leave down in the comments who your man of the match was. And other than that, thanks for watching and keep on keeping on.